And
Oh, dude,
and pivoting to the Mavs now.
good offseason so far.
Yeah, speaking of the Mavs, oh my God, great offseason. Yo, Najee Marshall
Dude,
in replacement of Jones Jr., Quentin Grimes instead of Josh Green, Klay
no,
Thompson
Tim
in
Hardaway
place of
Jr.
Tim Hardaway Jr. Oh,
No, no.
Quentin nailed it.
Quentin Grimes was the trade for Tim Hardaway Jr.
No, no,
Josh Green was the
I'm just
yeah.
talking. I'm just talking about the replacements according to the
Oh,
lineup,
okay, you're
not
filling
the
the hole.
trades.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, okay,
I'm
yeah, I
just
got you
looking
now.
at it like what they had from the year before versus now. Like Klay Thompson
Yeah,
in the Tim Hardaway Jr. role, Quentin Grimes on the Josh Green role, Najee Marshall in the Derrick Jones Jr. role. You still got a good
dude, they fill in the
defensive
holes
player.
way too smooth.
Yeah,
Way
Najee
too smooth.
Marshall is not as talented defensively, but he's more an offensive guy.
I think he didn't have that great of a season in New Orleans, but I feel like now he has more of an opportunity in Dallas.
Yeah, but
Because
he's
I
way
feel, yeah.
more I would say offensively, like as far as shooting and creating for himself, he could do that better, way better than DDJ.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I think the way they were able to pivot, like they knew Derrick Jones Jr. is going to get paid, and LA was trying to go recover. So they're like, all right, you're going to give you whatever, Derrick Jones. And obviously they pivoted pretty well. Um, Tim Hardaway Jr., that big contract, I don't know how they get out the books, but man, the Pistons just gave it to him.
Oh yeah, the Pistons.
They gave it
It
to
might
him.
be a favor for a future favor.
Yeah, it's like, all right, yeah, I think the Pistons wanted more veteran guys. Like, they're not even trying to compete. There's like, all right, can we build a culture? So they're like, we'll happily like eat shit for now. You guys can take Quentin Grimes, and he needs a good season because he hasn't looked good since like his first year in the Knicks. So I think now he has a chance to really play well for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, they re-signed Jason Kidd. They look good on paper. They look great. Um, Now with the more veteran presence, I think Klay Thompson can hold Luka to much more accounts. Nico Herring is a much more of a hungry GM as compared to Donnie Nelson Jr. So I think they're in a good situation right now. Like I think this is the most ideal for the Dallas Mavericks. More money has come in with the new ownership too. So it's much more of a flexibility, no more of an outlook of a mom and pop business.
Let's get to the spacing on the floor. You think Clay is
Yeah.
starting?
Dude, I don't know. There's a possibility I could see Quentin Grimes being good enough to start.
He is, but the spacing with Luka and Clay on the floor, at some point that the defenders they have Clay in the corner of their eye. You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
they double Luka, that's a hell of a motherfucker to leave open. Cause Clay, even
Yeah.
though he's come down a little bit, he's still one of the top guys in three pointers made. I
And
believe
I
he's
think
like 12, 13.
this will remotivate him too. I think this is a rejuvenation
Mm-hmm.
because now you're playing with a generational star, another one. You're playing with Kyrie Irving, who's been a friend of his for a long time. So it's a much more of I'm in an environment where I'm with people my age. I'm with the coach I watched growing up, and it's just like it just fits. Everything fits together. I think the Dallas Mavericks, one thing they done good. I got to give credit to also Dirk Nowitzki. I feel like he doesn't get credit behind the scenes, but he's probably made a huge impact in selling Dallas culture, which they were never able to do, unfortunately, with him as a player. But I think him as a personality is able to do better.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
But once again with the spacing, oh my God, you got Luka. You double team
yeah.
Luka, then you toss the ball to Clay. Then you got Kyrie. Again, the spacing, it's gonna be hard for teams to defend that,
PJ
man.
Washington hitting corner threes. And I think that takes pressure off of PJ Washington too. PJ Washington was good,
Mm-hmm.
but the problem was in the finals, it seemed like a lot of pressure came down on him when Kyrie wasn't able to hit the shots. Now you have a guy like Klay Thompson willing to hit those shots too. So it's gonna help PJ Washington's development into like a winning basketball player. I think Quentin Grimes is familiar with the Tibbs system and Tibbs is winning basketball. So
And he
like
loves
he'll
the
be
corner
able to transition
threes.
pretty better. Yeah, so he'll be able to kind of fit better. Jason Kidd's much more of a free flowing offense. It's going to be really interesting in how they do it, how they run the team next season. Like I think Dallas. I'm surprised they went this aggressive because my main concern was Dallas with this like, okay, Minnesota got better with the draft. Um, well, Minnesota's the only threat right now, and Oklahoma got better. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy they were also able to make a pivot and show that we are that team. This is not a fluke. All right, 2022 was a fluke. This is not a fluke. We're gonna rebuild. They made sure they didn't go on that mistake again of trying to run it back. They said, we're gonna make a pivot. It might not be the most sexiest pivot, but it's gonna be a good pivot. and it's going to be names that you guys might not be familiar with, but when the season rolls along, you're going to be familiar with Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, and those kind of figures.
They're also gonna have players that could take advantage of the double teams that Luka draws and make
Yeah,
these 3-point shots.
100%.